Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for this presentation of NAIA Baseball here live on SCSN. My name is Lorenzo Robinson, and we are bringing to you the second game of our doubleheader between the hometown Reinhardt Eagles and the visiting Ottawa Braves. 20th ranked team in the country, the Ottawa Braves, coming into this game with a 26-5 record. They are 15-4 thus far in KCAC play, currently second in the conference. Ottawa making it to the NAIA opening round in 2025. That was their first appearance in a few seasons. Ironically enough, their last NAIA opening round appearance came in 2022, where they faced off against this very program, the Reinhardt Eagles. Reinhardt ending Ottawa's season in the 2022 opening round. That was the only bit of history between these two squads before this weekend. They went 1-1 during that opening round sequence. Reinhardt and Ottawa played the opening game. Ottawa came out on top. Reinhardt advancing to play Ottawa once more. They knocked Ottawa out of the NAIA opening round. But here in Waleska, Ottawa, they've already clinched the series. They've won the first two games in very dramatic fashion here. Both of those games, they were trailing entering the ninth inning. Ottawa using a rally in order to win both. And right now, Ottawa trying to finish the sweep against the Reinhardt Eagles. Meanwhile, Reinhardt, they still have a chance to pull off an upset against the 20th ranked team in the country. Plenty to play for and a lot on the line here in Game 3 of our series. Jalen Ryan, the outfielder, popping one up, and it will be caught by the center fielder, Jackson Rains, for out number one. Again, Reinhardt and Ottawa, they played a pair of games that went right down to the wire. Reinhardt, they were up by 2 runs in the first game going into the ninth inning. Ottawa scored 2 in the ninth, 2 in the 10th to come away with a 7-5 win over the Reinhardt Eagles. And then moments ago, game 1 of our doubleheader, the second game of this series, Reinhardt held a narrow 7-6 advantage going into the ninth inning. Ottawa putting up a 4 spot in the top of the ninth. Eagles not able to recover. Ottawa came away with a 10-7 win. So Reinhardt hoping that they can flip the script, change the narrative here in Game 3 of this series. The man on the mound for the Reinhardt Eagles, number 35, Chris Oates, the native of Beaufort, Georgia, the 5'11" freshman. And this a well-hit ball there. It's going to go for a single. Dylan Sneed getting on board with the single. 1 man on for the Braves. But Chris Oates, the 5'11" freshman, he's going to be tasked with going up against one of the better lineups in the entire country, the Ottawa Braves, entering today with a .339 team batting average of batters who have at least 50 plate appearances, 9 of them over that 300 mark. And we just saw one of them at the plate in Dylan Sneed. Sneed batting .358 this season with 41 RBIs. On a lot of teams, Dylan Sneed would be the runaway leader in RBIs. Well, that's not the case in this lineup. Jeremy Freeman, the man at the plate for Ottawa right now, .359, 42 RBIs. Ottawa hoping for a fast start here. They started fast in the first game of this doubleheader. That was a big difference between that game and the game last night. Ottawa started fast. Reinhardt answered. It was pretty tit for tat the entire way from there. The Eagles, they maintained a narrow lead for much of the game following a 5 spot in the third. But Ottawa putting up 4 in the ninth. Eagles not able to respond. Ottawa out-hit the Eagles by a far cry in that game as well. The Bats have been working early and often here today. They're hoping that momentum continues here in Game 2 of our doubleheader. And that mental battle, definitely something to watch out for. Eagles went into that game, went into both games going into the ninth inning, with the lead. They feel like they played well enough to win both games. Ottawa snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, finding unique ways to come away with wins, rallying with 2 outs on the board, posting 4 runs in certain situations. The Eagles have helped them along that path. Reinhardt had a pair of errors to help the Ottawa war effort in that last game. But you got to give the Braves a ton of credit for staying in the fight, giving themselves a chance, and then at the end of the day, coming away with the win. So after the walk, Jeremy Freeman makes his way to first. Dylan Sneed is at second in scoring position. Julius Ryan coming up to the plate for the Braves. Julius Ryan entering today with a .412 batting average, not to be outdone by Jeremy Freeman's 42 RBIs. He has 45 RBIs. So Julius Ryan batting cleanup, someone who is sure to garner some All-American consideration there at that shortstop position for the Braves. Ottawa right now 20th in the NAIA top 25. They're currently 20th in their conference. Kansas Wesleyan right now number 1 in the KCAC. They're number 17 in the NAIA top 25. So that'll be a very interesting battle if those two teams connect on their collision course in the AAC tournament. Raines is underneath it. Sneed thought about heading to third. Great job by Raines to keep him put at second. So 2 men gone for Ottawa. Still 2 men on board. Caden Hopeely, the backstop, at the plate for the Braves. Hopeely played the role of hero in Ottawa's first game here in Waleska. His RBI to tie things up with 2 outs on the board helped Ottawa rally to win that first game. This one a grounder. Nice play by Oates. Throw over to Robles. That's going to retire the side. Eagles able to get out of that half inning unscathed. Now they're going to have a chance to try their hand at the plate. Set to resume play here in the bottom of the first inning. Aiden Robles leading things off for the Reinhardt Eagles. And Reinhardt coming into this game with a 10-18 record. That record can be a bit misleading. There is talent on this roster, and they played a very difficult schedule up to this point. Series at Loyola as Robles rips one into left center field. A leadoff single for Aiden Robles. He gets himself going. It took a while for the Reinhardt bats to get rolling in that first game of the doubleheader. This time, able to start things off with a leadoff single. But the Eagles, that schedule, very difficult. At Loyola, they had a home series against Johnson. They've played Cumberland's in the series. Not the easiest schedule in the world to contend with as this one goes straight up in the air. Luan has it. Out number one.
Number 16, Jackson Reinhardt.
It's only 3 pitches seen, one of them going for a single, the other one being a pop-out. But again, that's what it's been for Reinhardt, that difficult schedule they've had to contend with. The hope is that they're going to be battle-tested going into some more difficult games and going down the stretch of AAC play. There's still a home series against Tennessee Wesleyan on the horizon. Of course, Tennessee Wesleyan, the longtime leader in the clubhouse within the Appalachian Athletic Conference. So there's still going to be plenty of challenging moments ahead for this group. So they're hoping that series and games like these will give them something to use down the stretch. Jackson Rains at the plate now for the Reinhardt Eagles. Rains coming into today with a .333 batting average. He's the leader on the team in on-base percentage at .490. Rains a chopper. Quintana with it, trying to turn 2. Very nearly a 1-4-3 double play. Rains able to beat it out, so he reaches by way of a fielder's choice. Cannon Dorsey, the outfielder, at the plate for the Eagles. Dorsey was pulled early in that game earlier today, so this will be his first AB of the day. Cannon Dorsey entering today, the team leader in batting average. Dorsey across his 69 plate appearances batting .348. A ground ball. It's corralled. The throw is made, but Luan can't hold on to it. Rains heading to third. Runners at the corners for the Eagles.
Now batting the second baseman.
That ball was rocketed from Lopez to Luan, but it brought Luan off of the bag. He was not able to keep that toe there in place. Cannon Dorsey making his way to first. Jackson Rains taking advantage and making his way to third. Louis Dion, the returning first-team all-conference selection, now at the plate for the Reinhardt Eagles. Count is 0-1. Adrian Quintana, the man on the mound for Ottawa. Quintana, the junior from El Paso, Texas. Played 2 seasons at El Paso Community College before making his way to Ottawa University. Swing and a miss from Dion, but Dorsey tried to go. It won't matter much because Dion strikes out. That's going to retire the side and end the inning. Scoreless between these two teams. We're knotted up here in Waleska.
The Southeast Sports Network is now on Amazon Fire TV. Now you can download the SESN app and watch on any Amazon-enabled device, such as your Fire Stick. The easiest way to download the app is to go to our website, find the Watch SESN tab, and click Fire TV app. Then just select your device from the list. That's it. Free and easy. Enjoy watching the Southeast Sports Network on your Fire TV, Fire Stick, or Fire tablet.
First baseman, number 31, Dane Lujan.
Set to resume play here in the second inning. We are scoreless here in Waleska. Dane Lujan, the first baseman, back at the plate for Ottawa. Lujan had multiple hits in the first game of this series. He rockets one out to left field, and Cannon Dorsey's able to retrieve it. Looked to be a dangerous play there. Great contact by Lujan, but it has warning track power as Dorsey tracks it down for out number one.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 25, Garrett Dodd.
Quick AB there. Designated hitter Garrett Dodd coming up to the plate for Ottawa. This one popped up straight into the air by Dodd. Louis Dion gets it for out number two. If you're Chris Oates, you can't really ask for anything better than that. 2 pitches, 2 outs.
Now batting the second baseman, number 7.
The only thing that you could say is you wish that every single inning would go the way that this one has gone so far. I mean, they're making it pretty easy on him. Down goes Lujan and Dodd after 2. Brandon Franz, the second baseman, now at the plate. He's showing bunt, pulls back on it. See, there are those infielders ready to make a play. Brandon Franz, the second baseman, bucking the trend of first pitch swings from the Ottawa players. That one going for a strike. Brandon Franz entering today with a .353 batting average for the Braves. Right now facing a 1-1 count. That one goes low for ball number 2. Count is 2-1. Pitch inside, ball number 3. Count now is 3-1. Pitch from Chris Oates. Into the zone, strike 2 in a full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Strike retires the side. A ball, and we will play on. Franz will make his way to first. Franz calling for a time. Something flying into the eye of Brandon Franz. He's going to try to get that out. He looks ready to play on. He steps back into the batter's box and set to face this full count pitch here coming from Oates. The payoff. A grounder. Shamlee, it's going to just go foul. Again, you got to love how active that Ottawa dugout has been. Even when they were down in that first game, those guys were making noise, making their presence felt. A ton of energy over there and really propelling their group. Payoff. Well hit. The throw. In time. 3 up, 3 down. Ottawa still scoreless. Reinhardt, a chance to put something on the board. Set to resume play here in the bottom of the second inning. The backstop, Ryan Stevens, getting set to enter the batter's box for the Reinhardt Eagles. Ryan Stevens had a pair of hits in the first game of this doubleheader. Reinhardt hoping that he has some similar success here. His bat was scorching hot in game one. The man on the mound for Ottawa, Adrian Quintana, has been one of their better arms so far this year, and this will be his 8th appearance as Stevens pops one up in the center field. Out number one, but Quintana's been one of the better arms for Ottawa this year. Across 4 starts, 7 appearances thus far, sporting a sparkling 1.75 ERA. So he has been very difficult to deal with all season long. The Reinhardt Eagles, they will have their work cut out for him going up against him. Sham Lee swinging and missing for strike one. See Coach Lindsay for Reinhardt shuffling the lineup around, trying to find some type of consistent answer for his team offensively. They posted a lot of runs in that previous game, but again, not much consistency at the plate. They had 5 hits in the first game of this one, 4 hits in the second game of the series. Looking for a better performance here. Quintana almost made a play. That one hit right towards him. So what are they going to call that one? Are they going to call it foul? Or are they going to let Sham Lee stay at 1? So we're going to have a conference on the mound and make sure that Quintana is all right. Sham Lee is safe at first. That one, immediate bounce back at Quintana. Quintana doing a nice job of saving himself there. Cade Sham Lee hitting that one right off the bat, right towards his face. Well, that's one way to break the drought a little bit and break the ice. And they're going to allow Quintana a chance to warm himself back up after that very scary play. So Sham Lee's at first, and again, Adrian Quintana, 1.75 ERA entering today. But Reinhardt now 3 hits here through 2 innings. And we're not even all the way through this one. 1 1/3 played. Reinhardt's been able to have some early success at the plate against Quintana. It remains to be seen if they're going to be able to string together that success and score some runs off of him. Miguel Salazar, the shortstop, back at the plate for the Eagles. Salazar right around that 270 mark. And Quintana, when you've had the type of season that he's had so far, man gets on base, you're not really worried. You just continue to pitch the way that you know how. Swing and miss from Salazar, strike number 2. Again, Reinhardt looking for some consistent answers. Salazar down on the count 0-2. That pitch low for ball number 1. Pitch low for a ball. Sham Lee is at first. Another one going low. Ball number 2. And I've been very impressed with Hope Peely's work behind home plate. He's done a nice job keeping balls in his grasp. Some Gold Glove level catching from Hope Peely. Count now 2-2. That one very nearly hitting Salazar. Good on him for being able to get out of the way of that one. Are they going to say that it caught him? It did catch him a bit on the side, the umpire says. So Salazar is going to make his way to first, but luckily for him, just a little nick on the side and nothing more. So Salazar is at first. Cade Sham Lee is in scoring position And Brock Sisson, the designated hitter, coming back to the plate. Sisson, the 9-hole guy, the last man in this batting order. You see there Quintana eyeing down Shamli, trying to keep him at bay. Reinhardt, they've had the reputation of being a very aggressive base running team. We saw Reinhardt in the first game of this doubleheader go for the double steal. They made some quirky plays trying to bring a runner home as well. So the Eagles definitely known to try some things along the base paths, and you can tell that Quintana understands that, and he read the scouting report. Count is 1-1. Quintana. Strike. One man gone for the Eagles, but two men on board. Sisson thought about swinging, thinks better of it. They're going to say that Sisson tipped that one off ever so slightly. Counts 1-2. So these two teams having a bit of history. Reinhardt ending Ottawa's season in 2022 in the NAIA opening round. That was the only other time that these two teams have faced off against each other. That pitch high and upstairs, ball number 2. Of course, the Eagles had a lot of success since then. Back-to-back AAC regular season championships in 24 and 25, 87 and 31 between those two seasons. Swing and a miss from Sisson in strike number 3.
Now batting the first baseman, number 10, Aiden Robles.
Aiden Robles, the first baseman coming up to the plate for Reinhardt as we make our way back to the top of the batting order. But the 24 and 25 iterations of the Reinhardt baseball team really set the standard for them. 24, of course, making it all the way to the NAIA World Series. Last year's team setting the regular season wins record. Of course, the Eagles have lost a ton of talent between those squads. Some new guys and some unfamiliar situations, but a team that's had a tough schedule to deal with. It's been rough sledding, but again, they're hoping that this will build a callus for them and make them battle tested going into April and May. No rest for the weary right now, trying to take a game off of the 20th ranked team in the country. Quintana hits Robles in the back.
Now batting the right fielder, number 1, Cedric Kohler.
So both Salazar and now Robles can thank Quintana for getting them on board, hitting both of them with pitches. That one can't feel good, but Robles does a nice job of keeping a poker face, not really showing it there. He's now at 1, Salazar at 2, Shamli at 3rd. Bases are now loaded for the Reinhardt Eagles with Cedric Colors coming up to the plate. Colors, the outfielder, batting over 300. He has 3 home runs on the season. This one, a grounder, throw across the diamond, out number 3. Side retired. That will end the second inning. We're still scoreless, a far cry from what we've seen throughout this series so far. Still waiting on some fireworks. Going into the third inning, still looking for our first run of the ball game. It's 0-0. Jose Lopez, the 9-hole hitter, coming up to the plate, leading things off here in the third. Chris Oates remains on the mound for the Eagles, the native of Beaufort, Georgia. Oates so far pitching a shutout. Ottawa, very talented offensive lineup. Lopez hits it to Salazar. Salazar to Robles. Out number one. The Eagle infielders have been absolutely locked in here in game 2 of this doubleheader. A few errors in the 9th inning opened the door for Ottawa to walk right through it and take advantage. Right now, they're playing very connected ball here in game 2 of the doubleheader and game 3 of this series. Jalen Ryan, one of the guys who sparked that comeback moments ago in that first game of the doubleheader, back at the plate. We're back to the top of the batting order with Ryan being the leadoff man. Jalen Ryan popping one up. It's going to center field. Raines with it. Out number 2. Oates continues to trudge along against this Ottawa lineup. You have to be cautiously optimistic if you're Reinhardt. Right now, not just making work of Ottawa, but making quick work of Ottawa. He's only had 25 total pitches so far. And we're 2 2/3 of the way through with this one. Dylan Sneed back at the plate. So far, Sneed, the only man to record a hit for the Braves at this point in the game. Sneed hits one that goes towards the Eagle dugout. Count knotted up at 1 apiece. Oates. It's high, ball number 2. Chris Oates, his 3rd start of the season. This one popped up in the right field. Colors tracks it, gets it for out number 3. That retires the side. Chris Oates continuing to make quick work of this Ottawa lineup. We're still scoreless.
Hold on.
The previous play is under further review.
I'm not sure what he could review, but okay. Sure has been a while. Dine in at Buffalo's Cafe for the football season.
Switching gears now to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Still scoreless here in Waleska. Reinhardt right now out hitting Ottawa 3-1. Ottawa 1 hit through 3. Eagles, they have to be able to take advantage here. Jackson Rains in now for Reinhardt. Rains 0 for 1 so far on the day. He's been a huge addition to this lineup. He's really offset some of the production that the Eagles lost from last season. Having a strong year for Reinhardt. Adrian Quintana, the pitcher, still out there for Ottawa, having another stellar start. Now he's ahead on the count 0-2. So far, Quintana 2 Ks on the day. This one is popped up in the infield. Who has it? It's going to be Ryan, the shortstop. Out number 1.
Now batting the left fielder, number 32, Cannon Dorsey.
So down goes Jackson Rains, the cleanup hitter, Cannon Dorsey coming up to the plate. Dorsey has one of Reinhardt's 3 hits. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Again, Cannon Dorsey was pulled relatively early in game 1 of this doubleheader. Swings and misses there. But Dorsey immediately making his presence felt here at Ken White with that early single. Pitch inside. Ball number 1. And for Ottawa, they're 26-5, but they still feel like there may be a bit of disrespect with their current national ranking at 20. This would be a huge non-conference series win for them. They're trying to prove that they belong amongst the best of the best within the NAIA top 25. They're going to have time to prove it. Their next series after this one, a weekend series at home against Kansas Wesleyan. So that series will be huge in determining KCAC conference standing. Right now, Kansas Wesleyan is first in the KCAC over Ottawa. Kansas Wesleyan currently 16-2 in conference play, 22-4 overall. Ottawa 15-4 in KCAC play. Another pop-up, another one going foul. So Ottawa, they're going to be hoping that that series against Kansas Wesleyan will show the country that they really deserve to be a force to be reckoned with. But how better to prepare for that challenging series than to take an 800-mile trip down to Waleska? Nice catch made over there in left field. Down goes Cannon Dorsey.
Now batting the second
2 outs on the board.
Louis Dion.
Dion coming up to the plate. Dion still searching for his first hit of the game. Hits were hard to come by for Reinhardt in game 1 of this doubleheader. Louis Dion, one of the few Eagles to record one. Pitch goes low. Quintana continuing to absolutely deal. But Ottawa also great support on the back end defensively. Dion swinging and missing. That one a bit of a reluctant swing from Dion. Pops this one up. It's going to go foul. Count now 1-2. Quintana looking to get out of the inning unscathed. Eagles trying to keep it alive. The 1-2. Grounder. Franz, throw made in time for out number 3. This has turned into a pitcher's duel. Oates and Quintana going at it. Still scoreless.
Fielder number 2, Jeremy.
Transitioning to the bottom of the fourth inning, the top of the fourth inning. Right now, it is a pitcher's duel. Chris Oates and Adrian Quintana completely controlling this one. That's Jeremy Freeman, a grounder. Salazar, Robles, out number 1. And we've seen plenty of that here in this one. Ottawa, they've been very aggressive at the plate. The approach, much different than the one that they had in games 1 and 2 of this series, where they were very patient, forcing Reinhardt pitchers to pitch deep into counts. Logan Lynch in game 1 of this series went through 5 innings. He was taken out by Coach Lindsay of Reinhardt because through 5, he had gone 95 pitches. That has not been the story here today against Chris Oates. And then credit to Chris Oates for being able to handle this Ottawa lineup with relative ease thus far. He surrendered only 1 hit against one of the best lineups in the entire country. Great fielding from the Eagles as well. No errors through 3. Julius Ryan, the shortstop, back at the plate. Right now in a pitcher's duel like this, which team will be able to just get somebody on base? You just got to get someone on base first and go from there. You get them on base, see if you can move them over, get them in a scoring position. It may be small ball, it may be crawl ball. That may be the way that you have to approach it here in a scoreless game like this one. Pitch from Oates. 3-1. And a strike. Full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It would be huge for Ottawa to just get a man on base. Those have been few and far between in the early one. Eagles looking here. Payoff. Ryan staying alive. But the Eagles looking to take a game off of the 20th ranked team in the country, Ottawa, trying to come away with the sweep. Traveling 800 miles to Waleska to battle the Eagles. The payoff. Grounder. Salazar. Throw. Robles couldn't keep it in his grasp. He really went out for that one. Hopefully Robles is okay. He's going to get checked out. They're going to tend to him, and we're going to come back once that gets figured out. So hopefully everything is all right with our player over there, Hayden Robles. He seems to be okay. Caden Hope-Peely, the backstop, is at the plate. Julius Ryan is now in scoring position at second. So Julius Ryan's going to be at 2. First sign of any real trouble for Chris Oates. We'll see how he navigates out of it. Another check-in with Julius Reinhardt, trying to keep him at bay over there at 2. Ottawa, one of the more aggressive base running teams in the entire country. 3 different guys with at least 20 stolen bases. Julius Reinhardt has 24 of his own. And that pitch low and outside for a ball. And that's a cat and mouse game and really a mental battle between the base runners and the pitcher on the hill. As a pitcher, you really don't want to lose track of the base runner. You don't want to give him a chance to inch closer and closer to taking that bag, but at the same time, you don't want to lose track of what's going on at the plate. Luan, grounder. What a play by Salazar, but he can't keep it in his hand for the throw. Salazar dove out full extension to make that play off of 1 hop, but could not deliver a throw over to first base. So Luan able to reach 1.
First baseman number 31, Dane Lujan.
That allows a pinch runner to make his way to first. Pinch runner Owen Powers in the game for Ottawa. 2 men on. Dane Lujan in. Caden Hope-Healy was the man who finishes up with that single. Powers at first. It's Freeman at second. Ryan at second. So Reinhardt, they were so effective and locked in the early stages when it comes to fielding. Not many mistakes. They were playing on a string. So far, a few unforced errors opening the door for Ottawa. And errors have been the story of this series. They've opened the door for the Braves. 2 errors in the 9th inning really gave them a chance to spark a 2-out rally. And now we're starting to see Ottawa change their approach a little bit at the plate, looking more like the team we saw in games 1 and 2 of this series. Now forcing Oates to pitch deep into these counts, hoping to get that pitch count up, try to get him into more of a state of fatigue and really test that gas tank. He's behind on the count 3-0. This is popped straight up into the air by Luan. Ryan is going to stay put at 2, and now he's going to go. Thinks better of it. What a rocket of a throw by Cedric Cullors to keep him in place. So 2 outs on the board. Garrett Dodd, the designated hitter, coming back up to the plate. Dodd still looking for his first mark of today of this game. Garrett Dodd was also quiet in game 1 of this doubleheader. Dodd 0 for 4 in that one. 0 for 1 so far in this one. This one by Dodd, a nice hack, but it goes foul. Two men on for Ottawa, but we've already seen their capabilities of being able to string together a 2-out rally. Oates trying to put the kibosh on that here. Very well hit by Dodd, deep out to left field. And it's gone. Home run from Garrett Dodd, a 3-run shot. Puts the Braves ahead 3-0. First hit of the day for Garrett Dodd, and it's a bomb. The Braves take the lead. With 2 outs on the board, they score 3 courtesy of their designated hitter, Garrett Dodd. Reinhardt, they were hanging tough. Chris Oates was keeping this Ottawa lineup at bay, but it is so difficult to do that for an entire game, especially with the talent at their disposal. Ottawa finally getting on the board. It's now Brandon Franz, the second baseman, at the plate. Franz yet to record a hit so far in this one. He was 2 for 3 in game 1 of our doubleheader. A grounder, Salazar with it. The throw to Robles in time for out number 3. That retires the side, but not before Ottawa able to break the ice here in the top of the 4th. Reinhardt in need of a response. So that 3-run shot from Garrett Dodd puts Ottawa on the board. They're out front by 3 runs. Ryan Stevens back at the plate for the Eagles. Ryan Stevens was so important to this lineup in game 1 of the doubleheader. He was 2 for 4. Stevens trying to find his way in this one, looking for his first hit. Swings and misses there for strike number 1. Adrian Quintana still on the hill for Ottawa. He surrendered 3 hits thus far. So far through 3 innings, no earned runs. It's cracked right over the Ryan. Throw is made, out number 1.
Batting the third baseman, number 11, Cade Shanley.
So 1 up, 1 down thus far. Reinhardt Eagle offense still trying to string some things together. Ottawa, they weren't much better until that homer from Garrett Dodd. So it can happen in an instant. Eagles trying to find their way towards some momentum. Cade Shanley pops it up. It doesn't appear like it'll come on this AB. Catch is going to be made by Jalen Ryan. So Julius Ryan made a play. Now Jalen Ryan joining the action. 2 outs courtesy of the Ryan brothers from Ottawa. 2 up, 2 down. And it's Miguel Salazar, the shortstop, coming up to the plate. Salazar in his first plate appearance, he was hit by a pitch. Walked in his other plate appearance. Watches that one. Strike 1. Adrian Quintana came into this game as one of the better pitchers in the KCAC, and that is carried over here going up against one of the premier programs in the AAC. Ottawa, they've played as great as anyone in the country. They're going to have a great opportunity to prove their standing, really test their mettle in that series between the KCAC's top 2 teams. That's going to come up next weekend, Kansas Wesleyan in Ottawa, Kansas. So the Braves will be home for that series. Salazar pops one up. It's going to go foul. That one going foul, and a new man in at first base. Robbie Williams is in for the Braves. Pitch high for ball number 3, a full count here, 3 balls and 2 strikes. A ball, and Salazar will take the free pass. The strike will end the inning and retire the side and keep the momentum squarely in the hands of the Braves. The payoff popped up in the outfield. Out number 3. That's going to end the inning. Through 4. Ottawa out in front by 3 runs. Resuming play now in the 5th inning. Ottawa out in front trying to add some more runs to their total. 9-hole hitter, the third baseman, Jose Lopez, coming up to the plate for the Braves. Hits this one into the heart of the Reinhardt defense. Lopez on board with the leadoff single. All of a sudden, the bat's starting to come alive for Ottawa. Lopez gets on. We're going to make our way back to the top of the order. Jalen Ryan coming up to the plate. Ryan 0 for 2 so far in this one. Jalen Ryan also had a slow start in the last game, the first game of this doubleheader, and he came up with a big one to help propel the Braves to a victory. Right now, Ottawa just trying to put more pressure on the Eagles and add some insurance runs. Their bats a bit late arriving, but they have arrived. Chris Oates remaining on the mound for Reinhardt. He's only surrendered 4 hits so far, again against such a tough lineup to deal with, but that 3-run shot the difference. Three-run homer from Garrett Dodd. That's done all the scoring that Ottawa's needed so far. 3-0. Ryan goes foul. He's now behind on the count 0-2. One man on. Jose Lopez is at first. A chopper. Oates can't get it. Salazar does. He gets Ryan out at 1, but the lead runner, Lopez, is now in scoring position. So 1 out on the board. Lopez at second. Dylan Sneed coming up to the plate.
Batting the right fielder, number outfielder Dylan Sneed.
Dylan Sneed, he has a hit that came earlier in this game. One of just 3 Braves so far to record one. Make that 4 Braves. Sneed 1 for 2. Sneed likes what he sees, gets one that leaks into center field, and Lopez is going to score. Dylan Sneed, an RBI. Doesn't get caught at second. RBI double from Dylan Sneed. Insurance for Ottawa. They're now ahead 4-0. And Reinhardt, the home team, Ottawa bringing their own energy. Not a huge Ottawa contingent. Can't really fault them there, traveling from 800 miles away to make this trip to Waleska. But those guys in the dugout, they are firmly in agreement of BYOE. Bring your own energy. They have been extremely active all game long, and they've propelled their guys in every way possible. And that has to do a ton for your confidence, being able to hear that from your teammates. And right now, it's done everything for the Braves. And with the play of the Braves, they've done a nice job of taking the crowd out of it. Ken White Field, when the Eagles are really clicking and playing at their best, can be a very difficult place to play, but Ottawa, they've done a nice job of taking it to the Eagles here in Ken White. So Dylan Sneed is now in scoring position. He's at second. Just one out with Jeremy Freeman at the plate. Great chance here for Ottawa to add more to their total. This is going to be a grounder. It leaks into left field. Sneed headed home. He'll get there. RBI double from Jeremy Freeman. Ottawa beginning to pour it on. It's 5-0. Now there's going to be a conference on the mound. We'll see what the decision will be, if they'll leave Chris Oates out there. The infield not joining him, so Oates likely to stay in and get himself out of this jam. Ottawa beginning to build some momentum. And it's been tough sledding for Reinhardt in this game. Right now, trailing by 5 runs. They have 3 hits, but all 3 of those hits came within the first 2 innings of play. They've gone 2 consecutive innings without recording a hit, and they're going up against Adrian Quintana, who's had such a standout season for the Braves. So it's going to be easier said than done, but they need to try to find a way to string some hits together. But first things first, they have to get out of this jam and slow down the Braves. Ottawa right now beginning to build some momentum. 5 of their 6 hits have come within these last 2 innings. 5 of their 6 hits and all 5 of their runs. So the bats were late arriving. The Eagles were not able to take advantage in the early stages, and now the bats are here. Reinhardt has to come up with a response. Oates. He's now ahead on the count 0-2. It's now Jeremy Freeman there at second, and second so far in this inning has been the sweet spot. 2 consecutive base runners who've been there at second have scored. First it was Jose Lopez, then it was Dylan Sneed. Julius Ryan still searching for his first hit of the game. He's 0 for 2. But Ottawa, they haven't really needed their best bat to take an early lead in this one. Of course, this being a doubleheader, this second matchup will only go 7 innings, so we're down into the nitty-gritty here in the top of the 5th. Julius Ryan staying alive, giving himself a chance. Count remains 0-2. And there has been a decided shift in the approach from Ottawa. They were very jumpy, very early, really swinging early in the counts in the first few innings. They've gone back to their patient approach here in these last two, and I don't think it's a coincidence that offensively it's been their best 2 innings of the game. Count right now is 1-2. That pitch goes low. Stevens can't keep it in front of him. Jeremy Freeman going from second to third. And now you figure you just hit something towards that bag at 1. Give Freeman a chance to make his way home and scrape together another run. Even if you get cut down, if you're Julius Ryan, you can get the RBI. Pitch from Oates. It's going to be strike 3 and a K for Chris Oates. So able to get Julius Ryan out, takes away the sacrifice opportunity. At the plate is Caden Hopeely. Hopeely 1 for 2 in this one so far.
Pitcher number 8, Caden Hopeely.
Hopeely is coming up in a situation with 2 outs on the board, but Ottawa, they made great plays with 2 outs on the board throughout this weekend. Not exactly unfamiliar territory for them and not entirely unfriendly as well. Chris Oates trying to stop the bleeding and halt the momentum. You see there Jeremy Freeman bluffing a bit with Oates. Hopeely, a grounder. Dion, Robles, in time for out number 3. That retires the side. We're going to transition to the bottom of the 5th. Reinhardt in trouble, trailing by 5. Set to resume play, bottom of the 5th inning. Reinhardt running out of time to begin a rally here. They're trailing by 5 runs. Brock Sisson, the DH at the plate. Sisson, the 9-hole guy, watches that one, goes for strike number 1. Adrian Quintana, much like he's been all season long, he's been excellent. 2 Ks so far today through 4. Sisson pops one up, goes in the shallow right field. The second baseman goes all the way over to make that play. That was Brandon Franz. 1 up, 1 down. Back to the top of the order we go. It's Aiden Robles. Robles, one of just 3 Reinhardt Eagles to record a hit in this one. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Reinhardt hoping for an encore here in this AB. The Eagles, they got those early hits. They had 3 in the first 2 innings. Since then, it has been quiet. Much of that credit has to go to Quintana, but also the other 8 guys defensively. They've done a tremendous job for Ottawa. They made some great plays in the field. Quintana's received plenty of support. Count right now standing at 1-1. The pitch. It drops. Ball number 2. You really want to give yourself a chance here if you're Reinhardt. Maybe it's not a 5 spot, but you want to try to string something together, put yourself on the board. Take some pressure off of you as this game moves on to the 6th and the 7th. A 3-1 count. The pitch. Popped up. And it's going to go foul and a full count coming up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's always the risk when you hack at a 3-1. Can't really blame Robles for it. Again, just trying to spark some momentum for his team right now, reeling offensively. Full count here, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff. It goes for ball number 4. So Robles wins that battle. He makes his way to first. Cedric Colors, number 1, back at the plate. Colors 0 for 2 so far. Colors has the reputation of being a guy with some power in this lineup. We'll see what he can make do here. 1 man on for the Eagles. This a grounder. 5, 4, 3 double play to retire the side and end the inning. Through 5, Reinhardt still scoreless. Getting set to resume play here in Waleska, and there has been a pitching change made. Pedro Luciano, 6'3" righty from Kennesaw, Georgia, the junior, has entered into the game for the Reinhardt Eagles, formerly of Georgia Highlands Community College. So Coach Lindsay inserting him into a very big spot for his group as they try to limit Ottawa here in the 6th inning. And immediately Luciano hits Robbie Williams in the back. That was the first pitch that Robbie Williams saw here in this game. That pitch gives him a free pass to bag one. Garrett Dodd back at the plate. Dodd, first time that we've seen him since his go-ahead run, a 3-run shot that came in the 4th inning that kicked off the scoring in this one. Ottawa, they have a man at first now with Williams. And Luciano's going to check in with him. And that's the type of game that it's been for Reinhardt. Reinhardt, they were hanging tough defensively, making plays. The pitching from Chris Oates was exemplary. One play changed everything in this one. That gave all the momentum to Ottawa. Reinhardt still not coming up with answers for Adrian Quintana. They've been shut out through 5. And the Braves have a chance to add even more runs to their total. Right now, Luciano ahead on the count. Swing and a miss from Dodd, strike 2. Well ahead on the count, 0-2. We'll see if Luciano can finish the job here. Feel like Ottawa, again, the approach has been different since those first few innings, and that's given them a chance to really tire out the pitching arms for Reinhardt and make plays at the plate. That pitch very well inside. Did it hit Dodd? They're going to say that it does. So 2 consecutive batters hit by Luciano pitches. 2 guys on board. 1 in scoring position. Robbie Williams is at second. And we're going to have a mound conference. We'll see if the entire infield will join them. No, they will not. So this will be just a conversation between the pitching coach, the catcher, and the pitcher. Just a conversation maybe to refocus your guy, give him a chance to take some deep breaths and really go from there. Luciano, maybe some nerves trickling in a little bit. He hasn't been in so far today. He didn't appear in the first game of this doubleheader. And I like that decision there to leave him in. You want to see if he can battle his way through it.
Now batting the second baseman, number 17, Brandon Franz.
So Luciano stays in the game. Brandon Franz coming up to the plate. Franz, the second baseman, 0 for 2. Swing and a miss. An attempt to get to 3. It will be unsuccessful. A throw out by Ryan Stevens. That's the second time he's done that today. He did that in the first game of the doubleheader. He does so once more. So 1 man gone. The lead runner is out. There is still a runner in scoring position. That was a double steal attempt. So Garrett Dodd's now at second. But Robbie Williams out at third, courtesy of Ryan Stevens. Luciano. Low for ball number 1. So a pitch clock violation there from Pedro Luciano results in a ball. It's now 2-1. This one very well hit. Salazar gets it. Throw not corralled by Robles, and a run will score for Ottawa. 6-0 Braves in control. Another error for the Eagles. And in a game of inches, errors can be the difference. That is exactly what we have seen so far. Things just not going Reinhardt's way here today. Ottawa on the verge of a series sweep. Luciano popped up into the air. Shallow center. Jackson Raines is under it. Out 2.
Now batting the center fielder, number 1, Jalen Ryan.
So we're back to the top of the order. Jalen Ryan coming up to the plate. Ryan quiet at the plate right now, 0 for 3. Hasn't mattered much for Ottawa. They're ahead by 6 runs. Ryan watches that when it goes for strike number 1. Ottawa's so talented, so great at the plate. But the Eagles, they made their job a little bit easier. A few unforced errors, a few mistakes, giving Ottawa a chance to make even more damage. The infield, they were so connected and playing on a string earlier, but things getting away from them as this game's continued. Jalen Ryan watches that when it goes for ball number 1. And Ottawa trying to finish with a flourish, with eyes on that series next weekend against the 17th ranked team in the country and the top team in their conference, Kansas Wesleyan. So that's going to be a ton of fun. Ottawa, they're going to host Kansas Wesleyan, and they're hoping to use this as a way to propel them into that series. This would give them a ton of confidence. And even though Reinhardt's record isn't great, you're still going up against a program that has a strong reputation. They've won back-to-back AAC regular season titles, and also having to make a long trip here into Waleska. Reinhardt had 2 chances to win in this series, leading going into the top of the 9th, as Jalen Ryan gets walked and puts another guy on base. But in the first 2 games of this series, Reinhardt, they were leading heading into the top of the 9th inning. However, from there, things sort of going off the rails for the Eagles. Ottawa keeping themselves alive in game 1, tying things up before winning it in the 10th. In the last game, Reinhardt, they held a 1-run advantage. Ottawa put up a 4 spot to go up 3. Reinhardt could not recover. This one well hit to left field, but it's going to go foul. So this game hasn't taken on that same tenor. It's been all Ottawa ever since the 4th inning started. That 3-run shot from Garrett Dodd got it going, and they have poured it on ever since. Pitch a strike. Luciano ahead on the count, 0-2. Dylan Sneed has a pair of hits in this one so far. Sneed's been hot all weekend. This one popped up in the left center field. The play will not be made. It drops. 1 run scores for Ottawa. A chance for another. Bit of a pickle, Jalen Ryan. He was playing some games on the base path. They may catch him. No, they don't. Jalen Ryan wins the battle. 2 runs scoring for Ottawa. They're having fun out there. It's 8-0. Jalen Ryan, he was playing a little bit of will he or won't we. He's able to use his legs and win that one.
Now batting the left fielder, number 2, Jeremy Freeman.
Jeremy Freeman at the plate for Ottawa. There's a man at third. It's Dylan Sneed. Jalen Ryan was playing a game of chicken along the base path. It didn't look like he would be able to make his way home. He was able to outsmart that Reinhardt defense. Swing and a miss by Freeman in strike number 2. Very rarely do we see players find a way to escape the game of chicken that was being played there. Jalen Ryan coming up on the front end of that one. This one popped up and it goes foul. And when you're Ottawa, everything has been working. Again, the bats late arriving, scoreless through 3. All 8 of their runs coming in these last 3 innings, and we see there Dylan Sneed going way off the bag. They're really putting a lot of pressure on Reinhardt here, a lot of attention being paid to the base paths. And the bats have started to heat up. 6 hits coming in these last 3 innings alone. If you're Luciano, you're ahead on the count 0-2. You don't necessarily want to say that you're not worried about what's going on the base path, but being ahead on the count 0-2, you feel like you would want to make sure that you secure that final strike. And of course, that's easier said than done, and a little bit of Monday morning quarterbacking going on for me, of course. It's so tough dealing with such a aggressive base running team who also happens to be one of the better teams offensively at the plate. So a lot of things to contend with for Pedro Luciano, trying to, so to speak, kill 2 masters at once right now. It's been a bit of a struggle, but he has a chance to retire the side here. The 1-2 outside off the plate. Now, the flip side of the attention being paid to the base paths is it can take your attention away from the things happening at the plate, and you can lose a bit of control. Things can get wild. So Luciano trying to lock in here. The 2-2, swing and a miss for strike 3. Luciano picking up the K. Reinhardt, they're going to have 6 outs to work with, trailing by 8 runs. The Eagles running out of time to make something happen. Jackson Rains getting ready to come up to the plate. Rains has been one of the more consistent bats for the Eagles all season long. They're hoping that he can spark a rally. Reinhardt trailing by 8 runs, in need of something, and in something fast. Rains pops this one up and it goes foul. Reigns watches that one. It's inside, ball number 1. Adrian Quintana still in the game for Ottawa. He has been absolutely dealing. So far through 5 innings of work, he's gone through 62 pitches, has a pair of strikeouts, but he has been virtually unhittable. Reinhardt had 3 hits in the first 2 innings of this game. They have been shut out since then. No hits in 3, 4, and 5. Looking to get off the schneid, so to speak, here. Reigns pops one up into the air. It's going to go out. Count now 3-2.
The left fielder, number 32.
That one hitting Jackson Reigns is going to make his way to first. So coming up to the plate now for Reinhardt, number 32, Cannon Dorsey. Dorsey does have a hit. Jackson Reigns is at 1. Maybe that's what Reinhardt needs to build some momentum. Again, Ottawa and Reinhardt, they do not have an extensive history against each other. Only recent history came in that 2022 opening round, with Reinhardt putting Ottawa out of that one. Since then, Ottawa, they've been a standout program in the KCAC. Of course, Reinhardt making it all the way to the NAIA World Series back in 2024. The Eagles, it's not going to get too much easier for them as their schedule goes along. Reinhardt, they have a home date against Freed Hardman. That's going to be on Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Their next full series comes next weekend on the road at Montreat. Right now, Montreat, the 4th-ranked team in the Appalachian Athletic Conference, currently sporting a 3-loss record, so the second least amount of losses in the conference, 20-9 overall, is Montreat. So that's going to be an interesting series for Reinhardt, to say the least. Right now, just looking at AAC play, Reinhardt 5-7 in the conference, 9th thus far. Swing and a miss by Cannon Dorsey, and strike number 3.
Now batting the second baseman, number 6, Louis Dion.
So down goes Cannon Dorsey. Now coming up to the plate, Louis Dion. Louis Dion 0 for 2 so far. And the catcher, Caden Holt-Peely, telling Adrian Quintana to focus in and get himself going. Immediately, Quintana throwing a strike. So there, Holt-Peely, a little bit of leadership there on the field, speaking to his standout pitcher. Swing and a miss by Dion, strike 2. So Holt-Peely telling Quintana to focus in. That seemed to be the words that Quintana needed to hear. Since then, 2 consecutive strikes. Count knotted up at 2 apiece. Grounder, chance for a double play. Instead, he'll just get the lead runner out. Williams dropping the baseball, not able to make a throw over at second. So Jackson Rains is in scoring position. Eagles down to their last 4 outs with Ryan Stevens coming up to the plate. Stevens, a pair of hits in game 1 of this doubleheader. In game 2, no hits, 0 for 2. Reinhardt's offensive struggles continuing here in this game. Swing and a miss by Ryan Stevens, strike number 1. And you figure you just give yourself a chance by scoring something, putting something on the board. You put a lot of pressure on yourself going into the 7th. Stevens lifting one up into left field, going back, goes foul. Stevens will re-enter the batter's box behind on the count, 0-2. One man on for the Eagles. Jackson Rains at second. Quintana, that pitch is low for ball 1. Holt-Peely told Quintana to focus in promptly. 2 outs recorded. Looking to retire the side here. Grounder, collected. We're going into the 7th, Ottawa in control.
Julius Ryan.
Pitching change has been made for the Reinhardt Eagles. Number 29, Tyler Peterson is now on the mound. Peterson, the native of Youngstown, Ohio. Sophomore, formerly of Walters State College. Julian Ryan at the plate for Ottawa. Julius 0 for 3 so far today. Julius Ryan came into this game one of the better bats in the country as he gets hit by that pitch from Peterson. Hasn't been that productive today, but it hasn't really hurt Ottawa. They had double-digit hits in the first game of this doubleheader. Right now, riding high ahead, 8 runs to none. 7 hits so far as a team.
Now batting the catcher, number 8, Caden Hoapili.
And Tyler Peterson is going to be tasked with slowing down this hot Ottawa lineup. 6 of their 7 hits coming in the last 3 innings. That's also where all 8 of their runs have been scored. So right now they're facing off against a team that's currently trending upward. Peterson outside off the plate, ball number 1. And the biggest thing, if you're Tyler Peterson, overall the goal is to keep them at bay, but you want to take it one pitch at a time, one AB at a time, and go from there. A grounder, it goes towards the Reinhardt dugout. You think that you'll have a shot if you can find a way to slow them down here. And of course, it'll be an uphill battle, but it'll be even more of an uphill battle if Ottawa's able to put anything else on the board. Now a pinch runner in the game for the Braves, number 33, Jesus Rodriguez from the Dominican Republic, the senior, the 6'3" senior from formerly Vernon College. He's now the guy at first. Hoapili. Great eye there, goes for ball number 2. That pitch very nearly hitting Hoapili. It goes past Ryan Stevens. Rodriguez in scoring position at 2. This one a chopper. Ground ball goes again to the Reinhardt dugout. Full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch goes high for ball number 4. Hoapili makes his way to first. Still nobody gone. 2 men on with Robbie Williams up at the plate. And we're going to have another mound conference here. It doesn't appear that a change will be on the horizon. I'll come back. So Robbie Williams is at the plate. 2 men on. Ottawa a chance to add even more insurance. They're ahead by 8 runs, so it would admittedly be an uphill battle, but a chance to do more damage. Owen Powers, pinch runner in at first. Another pinch runner, Jesus Rodriguez, over at second. He's in scoring position. That pitch goes high. Tyler Peterson trying to slow down this Ottawa offense. And that pitch straight into the back of Robbie Williams. Bases now loaded for Ottawa. Garrett Dodd, the DH, back at the plate.
Now batting the designated hitter, number 25, Garrett Dodd.
That pitch low and in the dirt. Stevens trying to corral it. Out, not made at home plate. Jesus Rodriguez adds insurance for Ottawa. Braves ahead 9-0. Dodd was showing bunt there instead. Backs off. It goes for a ball. Ball number 3. 2 runners in scoring position for the Braves. Bases loaded once more. Franz back at the plate for Ottawa.
Now batting the second baseman, number 17, Brandon Franz.
Ground ball leaks through the glove of Sham Lee. 1 run scores for Ottawa. They're now in double digits. Make that 11 runs as a second run scores. Braves up 11-0. And a statement being made by the Braves here. The Reinhardt Eagles had an opportunity to win both of the first 2 games. Those games went right down to the wire into the 9th inning. Reinhardt held the lead. That has not been the case here in Game 3. It has been all Braves. Jose Lopez at the plate, 1 for 3 on the day. Still a runner in scoring position for Ottawa. That runner is at second. It's Garrett Dodd. Brandon Franz is at first. Oh, 2. That Ottawa dugout ahead by a lot of runs, but still giving themselves a chance. You can hear those guys. They're making their presence felt. They're letting their voices be heard. As hopefully Jose Lopez is okay. He fouled that one right off his leg. He's going to try to shake that one off. This one lifted out the left field, going back. The catch is made by the center fielder, Jackson Raines. Out number 1. And with this mound conference, it does appear that a pitching change will be made. New pitcher in the game for Reinhardt. Number 33, Gray St. Amant. Amant, the 6'2" grad student from Cypress, Texas, formerly of Colorado School of Mines. St. Amant throws that one outside and off the plate. Jalen Ryan back at the plate for Ottawa. St. Amant. That one gets past Stevens. They're going to say that it hit Ryan. No, Ryan was trying to say that he was hit. Umpire disagrees. He stays in the batter's box. Counts 1-2. St. Amant. Outside and off the plate, ball 2. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. A ball loads the bases for Ottawa. A chopper. Shamlee, a tag. Can't get the throw out over at 1 or 2, but he is able to get that lead runner out at 3. So Ottawa not getting a loaded bases here with Jeremy Freeman coming up to the plate.
Now batting the right fielder, number 4, Dylan Sneed.
It's actually going to be Dylan Sneed at the plate. Sneed 3 of 4 so far. One out left for Ottawa. Sneed watches that when it goes for a ball. Ball number 1. A strike. St. Amant looking to retire the side and give his team one last gasp here in the bottom of the 7th. Inside, ball 2. This one hit right to Salazar. He collects it for out number 3. Retiring the side, ending the inning. Reinhardt, one last chance, trailing 11. Reinhardt down to their final 3 outs. Pinch hitter in the game for the Eagles, number 5, Easton Sears. Sears swings and misses there. Sears, the sophomore from Canton, Georgia. Just a few miles up the road. Quintana trying to go for the complete game. Sears hits one that drops into right center field. Easton Sears rounding first, thought about going to second, thinks better of it. Nonetheless, a base hit for Easton Sears. So Easton Sears gets himself on board. The Eagles, hey, they say when there's a will, there's a way. They still have 3 outs to work with. Now in the game for Reinhardt, another pinch hitter, number 36, Xavier Cahill, sophomore from Marietta, Georgia, formerly of Hillgrove High School. That pitch inside. Quintana trying to put the finishing touches on a masterful performance. This will be a complete game shutout for him. Eagles trying to maintain some life. Trying to catch Sears off the bag. A very heads-up play there by the backstop, Caden Hoapili.
So Zeta scared.
It appears that a pitching change may be made here. Will it be a conversation? Will it be a pitching change? Does look to be just a conversation there on the mound. Adrian Quintana trying to collect these last 3 outs with his team in control. Count is 3-0. Another ball, and Cahill will make his way to 1. Pitch from Quintana. So Quintana had a similar conversation with his catcher, Caden Hoapili. Earlier in this game, Hoapili told him to lock in. Quintana proceeded to cut down 3 consecutive batters. Well, it looks like Quintana needed another conversation, and it's going to work very similarly. Pop out there from Cahill. Jaden Malucci, his first AB of the game. Jaden Malucci swings and misses, strike number 1. An absolute beautiful day here between the Pines and Waleska. The sun starting to set here. Gorgeous scene here. And if you haven't been to a game here at Ken White Field, those who are watching at home, it's definitely highly recommended by me. Again, gorgeous scene. Can't really ask for a better view when watching NAIA baseball than the one that's here in Waleska, Georgia. Count right now is 1-2. Easton Sears is at first. This one foul tipped by Malucci. For Quintana, it hasn't been a ton of strikeouts. He has 3 Ks, but Reinhardt not able to make consistent contact off of him. Only 5 hits as a team. Malucci staying alive in the AB. Remains a 1-2 count. Still just 1 out on the board. Reinhardt down to their final 2. Malucci again staying alive. And over there, the coach for Ottawa trying to barehand it. Very nearly did so. That would have been impressive from him. Strike number 3, down goes Malucci. Reinhardt down to their final out.
Now batting pinch hitter number 34, Matt Luciano.
And another pinch hitter in the game, trying to keep the game alive for Reinhardt. Number 34, Matt Luciano. Luciano from Sprayberry High School, native of Kennesaw, Georgia. Well hit ball by Luciano. It's going to be a blooper, and it drops. So Luciano with the single. He's on board along with Easton Sears.
Number 1, Cedric Kohler.
Matt Luciano gets on base. Easton Sears is in scoring position. Eagles trying to keep themselves alive. Cedric Colors back at the plate. Colors number 1, the senior from Appling, Georgia. A legend of Harlem High School. Swings and misses there for strike number 1. The Eagles down to their final 2 strikes. Colors staying alive, but chopping at it. Foul ball. Count now 0-2. Eagles down to the final strike. Ottawa trying to put the finishing touches on an impressive series. Eagles down to their last breath. Quintana, swing and a miss. Strike number 3, retires the side, ends the inning, ends the ball game. Ottawa dominant here in game 3 of this series. They win it 11-0, and they sweep the Reinhardt Eagles. Series win for the 20th ranked team in the country. Reinhardt falls short.